Oh man, that's tough. I don't even know how to describe that. Military service in one word.
Yeah, what you think? What's the one word that describes the military service that just comes to mind? It doesn't have to be whatever one just comes to your mind the fastest.
Shit show.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe intense.
There you go.
I would say
Well,
that.
do you got anyone that you could call out, like we could call out on here that would come on there and share their story? That way we could try to help each other out. Anyone that comes to mind?
He was in the military. Those would probably be the two right off the top of my head.
Gary and Taylor, man, fall into formation. Let's go.
Yeah, right. I worked with Gary. He was a mechanic, and then Taylor was in the Marine Corps too, but I didn't work with him. I met him years after.
That's all good, man. I met a couple cool veterans too, like after the fact of different services. So that's always good, man. What if you what was I gonna say? No, man, I guess that's it. Really, it. I was gonna ask you about like what the last one I was gonna ask you about what helped you the most with like did you ever struggle with mental health like while you got out the military? I guess we didn't really touch on that, and if you did, what helped you the most get out of that place?
Yeah, I think that's a good topic to cover because transitioning's hard. It's really hard, like I'm grateful that I even had a potential direction. Didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. But a lot of people don't have any idea what they're doing when they get out, right? And that's tough when you're told where to be, how to be, and what time to be for your forever, and then that just goes away.
It's like a nice city, man. So
you meet another veteran, you're like, we fucking know each other. I don't even know your name.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
a language that we speak that nobody else will ever understand, right?
I swear, man. Yeah.
So. So I mean, I always struggled, and I think that's why I think that's why I was so attracted to the nightlife industry because I was so involved into the party, like I just disconnected so much, right?
Yeah.
I went hard. I went hard because I think it was just it was an extreme lifestyle both ways, right? The military is very extreme, flying in helicopters, riding motorcycles, going overseas, Marine Corps, and then nightlife. It's just like you just dig yourself in this hole and you can't get out. So yeah, I definitely struggle with it. I think that's kind of why I latched onto that so much because it was an outlet for me to just let go. But I think like sports are great. That's therapeutic. Yeah.
There you go.
Music, I honestly, I think the biggest thing that saved me outside of sports and activity was music for sure. I think that's a big reason also why I got so heavily involved is because the music, man, would just like set me free. Like it kind of sounds stupid and
dude.
Like fluffy, but the music would literally like take me to another planet sometimes. And that's
man. When you left the nightlife industry, did it seem like a ticking time bomb went off because you were already in that extreme? Like because I don't know if like then the sales thing was kind of extreme too, because like that's kind of like the panel and everything like that. So